Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something pretty crazy?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're talking about a money laundering ring that was just busted in Vietnam.
Huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
Unbelievable.
We're talking over $1 billion.
$1.2 billion US dollars to be exact.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's the biggest case they've ever seen in Danang.
That's insane.
It is.
And we're going over this from a recent article we found in CNA.
That's right.
And this is really a look into the world of international crime.
Oh, absolutely.
The lengths that people will go to hide their money.
You would not believe it.
So this particular ring was active for around 2 years.
From 2022 to 2024.
That's a long time.
It is.
And they created hundreds of shell companies.
Yeah, essentially empty businesses used to hide the real owners.
So that you can't trace the money back.
Right, exactly.
And they were forging documents,
Fake bank seals.
opening tons of bank accounts.
And get this, they even had a bank employee on their payroll.
Seriously?
Yeah, a guy on the inside.
That's scary.
It really raises questions about the security measures at these institutions,
For sure.
and the potential for corruption.
Yeah,
It shows how important those internal controls are.
absolutely.
Due diligence to make sure everything's legit
Right.
above board.
Okay, so let's talk about where the money was coming from.
Sure. So the article suggests most of it,
This $1.2 billion.
yeah, it came from fraud and gambling.
Outside of Vietnam.
Operations outside of the country.
So they were bringing money in and then cleaning it through this network.
Exactly. And then probably reinvesting it somewhere else.
Untraceable.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So money laundering is really about making dirty money look clean.
That's it in a nutshell.
And this case shows just how complex these operations can be.
Oh, for sure.
This reminds me of another case in Vietnam.
Which one?
This woman, Truong My Lan.
Oh, right. The property tycoon?
Yeah, she was sentenced to life for money laundering.
Yeah. And in a totally separate case, she got the death penalty for fraud.
Wow, how much was that for?
27 billion US dollars.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane. These cases are unfortunately not isolated.
No.
It points to a real trend of financial crime in Vietnam.
So we're seeing these operations are really complex.
Extreme.
Huge sums of money.
Massive.
But why should the listener care about this?
Well, you're probably not going to find yourself knee-deep in shell companies.
Right.
But money laundering has consequences for everyone.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it impacts us all.
Well, how?
Well, money laundering fuels other criminal activities, like drug trafficking.
Oh, wow.
The money from this case could be used to finance that.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it could potentially mean more drugs in your community.
Okay, wow.
It's not just drugs either.
No.
It can fund terrorism, human trafficking,
Wow.
all sorts of terrible things.
So it's the lifeblood of organized crime.
Pretty much.
And it undermines the rule of law.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about catching the criminals.
Right.
It's about protecting society.
Exactly. We can't reward criminal behavior.
Yeah, because that's what we're doing by letting them enjoy their dirty money.
Right. And it distorts markets.
How so?
Legitimate businesses can't compete.
Makes sense.
It erodes trust in our financial institutions.
Which are essential for the economy.
Exactly, the backbone of the economy.
We've been talking about all the details of this ring.
Yeah, the forged documents, the shell companies.
Even that bank employee.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, but this is just one small part of a much bigger picture.
Exactly. This case, it's a symptom of a global problem.
That impacts everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
So we talked about how money laundering fuels crime.
Right.
But how does it destabilize economies?
Okay, so imagine a country where a lot of the economy is driven by money that's basically fake.
Fake.
Yeah, phantom wealth.
Oh, I see.
Not from real businesses,
Okay.
but from crime.
Proceeds of crime.
Right, it's all being laundered through this system.
And that creates bubbles.
Yes, in
And-
real estate or the stock market.
And then those bubbles burst.
Exactly, and everyone feels it.
Like a financial earthquake.
Exactly. The ripple effects can be devastating.
Wow.
Confidence in the whole system just erodes.
Yeah.
People are afraid to invest.
Businesses struggle.
Yeah, economic growth can just stall.
And in some
It
cases,
can even lead to political instability.
wow, that's grim.
Yeah, it is.
So this case in Vietnam,
Right.
this $1.2 billion,
Yeah.
it didn't come from thin air.
Nope. It came from somewhere else.
Right.
There are other people involved?
In other countries,
Potentially.
money laundering is rarely just a local thing.
Almost never.
It's like a virus,
Yeah, that spreads across borders.
infecting the whole financial system.
Powerful analogy.
So we have these networks of people and businesses
All over the place.
working in different countries
Makes it really hard to track them down.
and prosecute.
Right?
Just think about the logistics,
I know, right?
the trust involved.
The planning.
So how can authorities even hope to keep up?
Well, it's a constant battle.
Yeah.
And it takes a multifaceted approach.
Like what?
Well, first, we need better international cooperation.
Makes sense.
Countries need to share information, coordinate investigations.
Close legal loopholes?
Yes, exactly, because criminals don't respect borders.
So law enforcement shouldn't have to either.
Right.
What else can be done?
We need tougher financial regulations.
Yeah.
Stricter due diligence on customers.
Okay.
Better monitoring of suspicious transactions.
Got it.
Tougher penalties for institutions that don't comply.
So make it harder to hide money.
Right. And make sure there are consequences.
If they get caught.
Yes, exactly.
But regulations aren't enough.
Definitely no.
We need better technology
Absolutely.
and training for law enforcement.
Right. They need the tools to analyze the data,
Track the money.
investigate these crimes.
So it's like a game of chess.
It really is.
High stakes. The
Author-
cities are trying to anticipate the next move.
Absolutely.
Develop new strategies.
It's a game we cannot afford to lose.
Mm.
Money laundering, it facilitates other crimes.
Yeah.
It undermines our whole society,
Undermines trust.
fuels corruption.
Weakens the rule of law.
Exactly.
This has been really eye-opening.
Yeah.
I think we've all learned something new
I hope so.
about money laundering.
Yeah, it's a complex issue.
And it impacts all of us.
It does.
It's not just a problem for the government to solve.
No, we all have a responsibility here.
So what can the average person do to help?
Staying informed is a great start.
Always?
The more you understand,
Yeah.
the more equipped you are to protect yourself.
From becoming a victim?
Right.
So being vigilant
Yes.
in our own finances.
Yeah, and supporting efforts to promote transparency.
Accountability.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that financial crime,
Right.
it's not victimless.
Impacts all of us.
Yes, and we all have a role to play in fighting it.
Okay, so we've really gone deep into this world of money laundering.
We have
Learned about the mechanics,
the shell companies
the ripple effects.
on the global financial system.
But what does it mean for Vietnam itself?
Well, it definitely puts them in a tough spot,
So.
both domestically and internationally.
Okay.
It's a real test of their commitment to tackling financial crime.
What are the immediate consequences for Vietnam?
It's definitely hurt their reputation.
As a safe place to invest.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
It raises serious concerns about their regulations.
You know, their ability to actually combat financial crime.
Yeah. Investors want stability.
They want transparency.
Right, if they think their money might be caught up in something shady.
They'll go somewhere else
Absolutely, and that could have a domino effect.
on their economy.
Yeah. Their growth has been very reliant on foreign investment.
Right.
So if companies are hesitant to invest,
Because they're worried about corruption,
exactly, it could lead to fewer jobs,
slower economic growth.
potentially even social unrest.
So the impact goes beyond just the $1.2 billion.
Oh, way beyond
It's about future investment.
the missed opportunities.
For growth,
Exactly. Vietnam needs to step up their game.
when it comes to anti-money laundering,
Big time.
they need to show they're serious about this.
With actions, not just words.
So how does this affect their standing globally
It's a setback for sure. You know,
Yeah.
they've been trying to become a major player.
in the global economy?
Right. But this casts a real shadow over those efforts.
Other countries might be hesitant to do business with them.
If they think Vietnam's a haven for money laundering,
It's a trust issue.
yeah, on a global scale,
This could affect trade agreements,
diplomatic relations.
even their access to financial markets.
Exactly. They could face stricter scrutiny,
More regulation.
maybe even sanctions.
Wow, so this case has potential to really impact Vietnam,
Absolutely.
their relationships with other countries.
It shows that what happens in one part of the world.
Can affect everyone.
Exactly. We live in an interconnected world.
The integrity of our financial systems.
It's crucial for everyone.
For global stability.
For prosperity.
This has been a lot to process.
I know, right?
But what can Vietnam do going forward
Well, they need to show the world they're serious.
about tackling this?
Yes, strengthen their laws.
Close loopholes.
Enforce those laws.
Show real progress.
Absolutely, and be transparent.
Open about the steps they're taking.
Provide updates.
Cooperate with investigations.
It's all about rebuilding trust.
Domestically and internationally.
Yeah, it's a huge task, but the stakes are high.
Their future prosperity.
They're standing in the world.
It's a defining moment for them.
The choices they make now will have a lasting impact.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
We went from forged IDs
shell companies
to economic instability
to the erosion of trust.
It shows that financial crime,
Even if it seems far away,
can have a huge effect on all of us.
it's a reminder that we need to be vigilant,
Promote transparency
cooperate internationally.
to combat financial crime.
It's a global challenge that needs a global response.
And we all have a role to play.
Staying informed,
Asking questions
demanding accountability
from our institutions.
from our governments.
It can feel overwhelming.
It can.
But even small actions can help
Absolutely.
this fight against financial crime.
It's a collective effort,
And it starts with each of us
taking responsibility.
demanding better.
That's it.
This has been a truly insightful discussion.
It has.
Thank you for guiding us through this complex world.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for listening.
Until next time.